Boys, it's only been 67 years. We're like the lady on the Titanic, but we're here. Code's here, Morgan here, I'm here, and we have a short period of time to record this, but we wanted to get it out. So we're just going to make it happen. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing really good.
Good?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up?
Great.
Great. How are the dogs, Morgan? I know we talked a little bit. You said there's good news, right? Like they're doing well?
Yeah, they're good. They just had their last blood work update, and their numbers came back good. So,
Oh, yeah.
100% good to go there. Somehow survived eating like 450 ibuprofen.
Yeah,
Good.
like the pills.
I'm going to try
Yeah.
that and say, well, I saw my buddy's dogs do it when I have a really bad headache. So
And
I
they
see it
got
moving around
through it.
behind you a little bit. So we're good.
Like what? Like how much? Like how much exactly is that? Like 450 pills of like whatever the dosage is.
200
That's
milligrams, which
ins-
one
Oh my
can cause
gosh.
damage. So
Yeah, that's
450 of them.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
glad
guys
that they're okay because that is insane.
Yeah. Just rush him to the vet, I guess. I can see. I know your background's blurry, but we can see him wiggling behind you, so it's cute. So
Which one is that? Yeah, that's Hank.
shout out
That
Hank.
one's-
All right, since we have a limited period of time, let's just go ahead and get into the pick. So, Codes, you're up first, as if it's a surprise. I don't think it is for everybody, but
Yeah.
the draft sound has happened. Who are you taking here with your pick?
It's Makai Lemon to the Eagles, obviously. There was
Yeah.
no reason. Actually, when Morgan and I were talking about it, I told him I'd rather kind of trade down. And then he was like, well, the price to move up is super cheap. So I was like, all right, I'll just give him one of his picks back because why not? To move up to get Lemon, who was, I mean, I guess it's not that shocking to see him go after Sadiq, but I didn't expect to get him at 106. So, like, to pay the short little tax just to grab him, I figured he would go earlier.
That kind of means that your trade with Nate was then for free as well, right, Morgan? Because didn't you send a 27 fourth to kind of slide up to 102 to secure your guy? And now you're kind of recouping that fourth. And I think you're still getting the guy that you want here at 7.
Yeah, I sent a 28 fourth. So if the 27
okay.
class
Yeah.
is the one that's supposed to be, this
Bonkers or
crazy good thing, I mean, maybe it's more valuable next year than it was there. But yeah, I got the guy that I wanted in the end. The percentages though, I don't know. I mean, Lemon looks pretty decent. I mean, dude seems to get open. Watching some highlights,
Yeah.
So.
How much of the AJ Brown news is fueling this for you, Code? So obviously, Eagles fan wearing an Eagles jersey, beautiful Eagles jersey. Whoever got that for you must be a
Number 9.
really sexy individual, by the way. So got the Eagles jersey on. You have AJ Brown on your team here in this league.
Yeah.
But there's the rumors that he's going to be traded to New England. And he's also on your team. What are you kind of rooting for as, I guess, an Eagles fan, as a Brown owner, and now as a Makai Lemon owner too?
Obviously, I loved AJ with the Eagles, but I think everybody knows he's not playing there anymore. I think the writing's been on the wall for a bit, and it's like a 99% done deal that he's going to go New England. I guess we'll see what happens after June 1st, but I'd be shocked if he's still an Eagle, which just allows Lemon to slide into that 2 slot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's a win-win. Obviously, love AJ. Did a lot for us, helped us bring in the Super Bowl, but he's ready to move on, I guess, and it just happens. And it's like Allen and Diggs had great years together, and Diggs was ready to move on. Allen was too, and they just kind of split. So it's like I don't think it's exactly the same. I think Hurts and Brown are still close friends, but obviously AJ is just he's ready to move on, and hope he has a good year in New England. That's why I'm planning to keep him, because I think he and May are going to be crazy good. So
how concerned are you if AJ does stay in some sense? Do you think that you're just going to leave Lemon on taxi and just see what happens, or what's your strategy there if it's the other scenario?
Yeah, the 1% chance he does stay, it's probably an easy taxi decision for Lemon, because I still think Lemon is. So actually, we were talking about it beforehand. My wide receiver rankings were Tyson first, and then Tate, and then Lemon. And then after seeing the landing spots, I moved Lemon up. Not necessarily because Eagles bias, but because of me factoring in AJ Brown being gone. So
it worked out for you then in the end.
Yeah.
So Cool. All
This
right,
is,
let's.
like I said, I did not expect Lemon to be here at 106. So, and considering Morgan was like, "Hey, you want to come and just get him?" I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, it was the
No
most
problem.
obvious pick, I think, and that's not in a mean way or anything. It just kind of felt that way. So.
Yep.
So this is the part of the draft, I think, where things start to go off the rails a little bit, depending on where Sadiq goes. Right? I think you have a top 6 that's fairly clear that we've seen, and so now we're at 7, and I feel like there's a tier here. And Morgan, you've made your selection at the top of this tier. Let's talk about it. Let's make the draft sound happen. And at 107, Morgan, to the Luck Cardinals. Who have you decided to go with?
Luck Cardinals are taking Jadarian Price. Looking to lock up the entire Seattle backfield with Emmanuel Wilson, Sharps, and Price. Really, I was gonna take him, probably regardless, unless I got Love at the 102. Then I probably take Lemon here. It's kind of my thought process. But when I thought Vicky was gonna go Mendoza number 1, because my thought was he's got, Tua and Herbert,
Yep.
and it's just like you got Herbert, but it made sense in my head for him to go Mendoza there, but without getting there, I think Jadarian Price is a good consolation prize for me.
Yeah.
How easy of a decision was that for you? Because again, I think there's ambiguity here, but how easy of a call for that was you when you already kind of have Charbonnet, and to your point, you have Seattle's entire backfield locked down. When you know that that's kind of their, I mean, obviously the JSN, right? But their mantra is to kind of pound the rock, use a 2-head system. Now you've got them both. You've got that locked. Was that just an easy button for you, or were you considering other options here at 7?
Well, looking at the rankings of where the ADP is, looking at Concepcion and Cleveland, who I've heard a lot of good things about Concepcion.
Yeah.
I've heard, he could be really good, but also it's Cleveland, and they have between their, 5 quarterbacks, 1/3 of one quarterback. And then you look at Omar Cooper with the Jets, not touching the Jets offense. It's just 2 teams I'm not going to touch. So it was always going to be Price here. If Lemon had gone beforehand, or I was just left with these 3 options, I'd take Price. Especially with my team being built, I'm good on receiver, and my big weakness has been that, like last year I had Brandon Robinson, and he had been the starter in Washington, and I was just like, yeah, he's good to go. And then he gets all traded all of a sudden, and now he's just like out there.
Yeah.
And so I went from like a guy who I'm like, okay, he's not going to be much, but he'll be 9-10 points every single week. I can just sit there and start him, not have to worry about it, to now I'm just, trying to figure out who's going to play running back for me. So really trying to hammer that position this offseason. And with getting Jadarian Price, I kind of get some youth at the position too.
How much do you feel like you have that position figured out now that you've kind of got Seattle's backfield kind of totally under a monopoly? Obviously, you've got Jonathan Taylor and Amari Hampton too, and Josh Jacobs. So you're just kind of going at this with a shotgun approach, really. But you feel like it's kind of covered now? You feel like 100% there?
Yeah, until somebody gets a catastrophic injury. Yeah, I feel fine. Blake Corum is a decent back who I think is going to turn into something this year. Tajay Spears, we'll see. If Tony Pollard gets hurt, you never know with Tajay Spears. He's done well, when he's been given the opportunity. So he's a guy who I'm looking forward to, like, if there's But outside of that, I think I have the depth, and I think I have the star power there to maybe go chase a championship and, get in the playoffs here, hopefully.
Just because we have both of you guys here, have you guys seen the report of like the Kyron Williams is going to operate more as a 3rd down back this year, and they're going to tag someone else in? I imagine Corum is like the 1st, 2nd down back. Reason I'm bringing it up, is we just kind of talked about it, but we've got the Corum owner here and the Kyron owner here. How do you guys feel about that? Have you seen that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't think Corum's a bad running back, but Kyron's still the 1A, and I think that the Rams' offense just is so good that you just start their studs. You know what I mean? So it's like last year, yeah, I was kind of like disappointed a bit to see Corum eat into Kyron's volume, but it's also like if Corum's taking those carries on first and second down, then Kyron's catching the 15-yard touchdown pass. It's a win-win for both. So I'm just kind of like, eh. Um, I mean, Kyron was still really efficient, I think, last year in terms of like fantasy points. So he wasn't like, putting up like 30 bombs every game, but he wasn't killing me either in the lineup. So, um, I mean, I think it's a win-win. Keep Kyron healthy. We'll see what Morgan has to say about Corum.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Morgan?
Yeah, I haven't seen too much on LA play football, so I haven't actually seen Corum. I just know that starting in like week 7, he started getting a bunch of carries, and people had talked to me about taking him off the taxi squad last year, but for me, the ability to just roll his contract over one more year was the valuable piece.
Yep.
By week 7, I kind of known it was going down the tubes. It was kind of screwed because I had too many. My quarterback situation was all messed up. Running backs weren't great. Receivers were a little banged up. So I just went into that week going, I'm just gonna keep him on the taxi squad, and then I get another year of him.
Yeah.
Team
I
control is
think
the
that
important
piece of
part
it's super underrated. That's for sure. So. We are up against our hard out time. So, any final thoughts from either of you guys in terms of the draft, the season, all that good stuff? I think Richard is the next person we need to get on here, right? For
Yes,
108.
Sir Duncan himself.
Yeah. So we're getting to the back half. So it's Rick, then Nate again at 9 before we got Chase and Unicorn 10, 11, and then Rick
Yeah.
again, and then me at 13. So.
So yeah, my final thoughts. AJ Brown didn't want to go over the middle. We're not going to throw the ball to Devonta Smith over the middle, who's 130 pounds soaking wet. I know that everyone loves to say Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball over the middle, but you're going to find out this season when he's throwing over the middle to Makai Lemon and Stowers and Goddard and Go Birds.
Go Birds. Hell yeah.
My last thing, I think my wife would like me to say to you guys,
Oh boy, here we go.
Skull Vikings.
Ugh.
First of all, that's disgusting coming out of my mouth. I can't believe I just did that for her. Secondly, go Luck Cardinals. Hopefully our football season is better this year. And the Luck Cardinals in real life and fantasy both winning championships.
Hell yeah. All right, you can have it this year, Morgan, because I still am not competing. Next year, we'll see.
He's not competing.
That'll
Number
do it,
3,
boys.
Vikings are frauds.
Vikings are frauds, 100%. Sorry to your wife. So, all right, boys, good chatting with you. That's going to do it for us. Rick, we'll get with you soon, and Nate soon after that.